Guys, I tried to shoot this video up in the garage. I'm gonna show you a little clip. We gotta do some major cleaning up, guys. It's too dark in there and it's too dirty. So had to come out here and reshoot this. But I promise you I did try it, and I'm gonna get that garage straightened up so that we can get back there and get the video and some more. How are we gonna handle this today? How are we gonna approach it? Well, I'm gonna blow through this. I think we're gonna do like a part 1, part 2, part 3. Ever how many parts we need to really discuss this. And what I want this to really focus on is the things that when you take it to an automotive repair shop, they might not know about, right? So things that really only Foxbody guys know about. Just the quirks, if you will, of a Foxbody, Doug DeMero style. Sorry, let's start under the hood. One of the things that I want you guys to be aware of are these wires down here. They have a lot of fusible links inside of these wires. Look right here. See that black connector from here to there inside of this wire? That's a fusible link, guys. These will go bad on you and your car just will not start. So after you've checked everything else, come out here and check and make sure that your fusible link is good. And what you can do is just test on both sides of the connector here of your fusible link to see if you have power on this side and that side. That'll let you know if the link is good or bad. I've had this yellow one burn out on me before, and my dad's car would not start, and it took me forever to figure it out. Moving right along, right beside this, your coil right here. These things will cause you so much grief just from being unplugged. Let's say you're messing around in here and you're moving stuff around. Look at this, boom. The clips are bad about breaking on these things, and look at that. This thing will pop out on you in a heartbeat, and now your car won't start. And look, this is the thing. So it can sit in there like that, and you would think that it's plugged in correctly, but watch. There you go. So you have to pay attention to these. Also, these wires get very, very brittle over time, so check and make sure that nothing's broken. But if your car won't start and you've got fuel, come out here and check around this area, and you might be surprised what you find. Also along those lines, getting over here to the 10-pin connectors. Damn, what did I do with mine? I had stuffed mine back in here. But anyway, also check your 10-pin connectors or your salt and pepper shakers. You can see why they're called that because of the color. Inside of here are connectors that are bad about getting corroded. And this is not gonna show up on anybody's scanner. Nobody's gonna be able to tell you that your connector is dirty. So let me go ahead, pop one of these out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so right here you can see, if you look really closely, that these connectors have a split in the top of them. Something that I recommend is to go in with a pick and press down in the center of this connector, or all of your connectors, and spread those points out just a little bit, and that'll give it a better connection. Also, just generally clean everything. Same thing on the receiving end of things. Make sure it's all good and clean. Pop those things back together and you should be good to go. Like I said, guys, these are things that when you take it to a mechanic shop, if they're not familiar with Foxbody Mustangs, they're not probably going to know this. And let's just be honest, if it doesn't show up on their scanner nowadays, most people aren't gonna dig into it for you. And if they do, they're gonna charge you a lot of money. Also, continuing on under the hood of the car, the TPS sensor, they will go bad on these cars, but I think that's pretty common knowledge. Most places know about that, but your reading on there can be anywhere, honestly, I think from like 0.65 to 0.99, somewhere in there. Don't get caught up in that 0.98 number or whatever it is that you're gonna find on the internet. You'd be surprised. These things are pretty forgiving for the most part. Wherever your car likes it is where you need to put it. Also, your TFI module down here, they're notorious for going bad. Most places are gonna also be aware of that, but that is something to look into. If your car won't start, there again, that's something else that you can look at. Or if it has a weak spark, check that TFI module. They do make a relocation kit that you can put back here that has a heat sink that thing actually bolts down to, and then you just run your new wires up to your distributor. Those do work pretty good, and they'll extend the life of your TFI module. Those things will go bad on you, and they won't give you any signs of it happening before they do it. Also, if you have AC on your Foxbody, which a lot of people don't, but if you're one of the lucky ones to have AC on your Foxbody and it just quit working, you can't understand it, it's full of Freon, everything's good, I want you to check a couple things. Typically, right down in this area, or either right over here, is gonna be your wide open throttle relay. What this does is take a signal from your TPS sensor over to this, and it lets the car know that you're wide open throttle or very close. And what it'll do is cut off your air conditioner for you for more power and more efficiency. If that relay is bad, your AC is not gonna work, guys. I have been through this, trust me, it will not work. So check that relay over there and make sure that it's good, and that may fix your air conditioner issue. Also, something else on these cars. These compressors, the plugs on the top, are really bad about getting a loose connection. So one of the first things you need to do if your AC is not working is immediately switch everything on the inside of the car, and then come out here and try to press on this connector, wiggle it around, and you may be surprised that your compressor may kick on. And a workaround for that is to just pull some tension on it like this to the back, and then zip tie it up, and a lot of times that'll get you going for a while. Little Foxbody tips, guys, that not everybody's aware of, and most shops aren't gonna go up there, wiggle a wire for you, put a zip tie around it, and get you going. They're gonna charge you for a whole nother compressor. That's why we're having this conversation right now. After years and years of people pulling engines in and out of these cars and working on them, trust me, there's a good chance not all your ground wires are back. A lot of times I double ground mine. I'll come in, ground it up here, ground it to the battery, then I'll come back and ground it over here. There's a couple wires in the back here. There's a little thin, probably 10, 12 gauge orange wire back here behind your engine. I don't think I can find it. Let me see. This orange wire, and guys, I'm sorry, I cannot get a good video of it, but it's right here. It's gotta be connected. It's just a ground, and it goes back to the computer if I'm not mistaken. Make sure that thing is grounded. Your car will run, but it'll run like crap. It just won't run consistent, and it won't run good. So check back there. Make sure that orange wire is connected. My buddy Ronnie Spivey, if he's watching this video right now, yes, Ronnie, the orange wire. These light switches are notorious about getting hot and burning up. Trust me, it's worse on the GT cars with fog lights. There's so much current that gets pulled through these switches right here, so you could be on a trip somewhere at night, you got your headlights on, your fog lights on, and this thing all of a sudden starts smoking. The best thing for you to do is if you start to smell an electrical issue, obviously, switch your car off, but pay close attention because a lot of times it's going to be that switch up there that's getting hot and going bad. And you can just purchase a new switch. It's typically all it is. Also, you can upgrade to LEDs. So get rid of those halogen bulbs up there, go to a LED, and that'll lighten the load on this switch for you, and it'll last a lot longer. So you may get in your Foxbody and realize that nothing works, right? I want you guys to watch. This thing is supposed to dim as you turn it, but does it? No, watch. You have to wiggle it just right. Hold on, see? There we go. You have to wiggle these things just right to get this to work. So you can replace the dimmer switch on these things and it'll help you out a lot. But that's a common issue with these cars, and it's nothing more than that little switch right there. Your blinker, or AKA multi-function switch, they are horrible on these cars. They're bad about going out, and you can replace those. These will cause all sorts of issues. These will cause your blinker not to blink at all. Your bright light switch may not work. All sorts of issues can arise by this multifunction switch. This is something that gets overlooked a lot and could cost you a lot of money if you're not aware of it. Another common problem that you'll have with a Foxbody is you'll only have heat or AC or air in general coming out of your defrost. You need to check this connection under here. This is a vacuum line connection. Check this thing and make sure everything is plugged in. This black line right here is really, really bad about popping out on you, and you'll only have air through your defroster. Plug all those connections back in like they're supposed to be, and you'd be surprised. You'd probably get your air right back through your vents like you're supposed to. Guys, I know there's a lot of other things that we need to cover. So down in the comment section below, let me know what you'd like to talk about, what you'd like to have covered. I want the Foxbody community to be as self-sufficient as possible. So I like doing these videos because it saves you money from having to take your car to some automotive mechanic shop that's going to charge you out the butt to fix these things, and they don't even know all the ins and outs of these cars. I'm telling you guys, a zip tie could get you home on one of these cars. You need to know your car. These Foxbodies have some major quirks about them, and I want to cover those with you in this series. So, like I said, down below, you guys let me know what I missed, and I really want you guys to focus on the things that mechanic shops wouldn't necessarily know. If you don't know Foxbodies, something that maybe won't show up on a scanner, that'll just be hard to find and cost you a lot of money. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.